This video is for Tom Farmer, as well as anybody else who's interested in how these St. Mark's Koning gloves fit into side swords. I'm going to try with 3 side swords here, a synthetic sparring steel and my sharp, and I'm going to be comparing them also to the Neiman fencing thock gloves. So here's the Black Fencer synthetic side sword. This is one of the few synthetic side swords on the market. And as you can see, I can fit my index finger through these finger rings just fine. Take that out, sword goes right, finger goes right into the hilt. Things, no trouble there. I haven't done any sparring with these yet, but it certainly feels fairly comfortable. In fact, the only discomfort I feel is really down here with my bottom fingers when I go for my finger squeeze. I wish that these fingers were slightly more mobile. Similarly, if I try and come off the hilt to let the sword wheel around for a tramezzone, these bottom fingers are a little bulkier than I would like. Especially given that all of these side swords I have knuckle bows, but the index finger fits in just fine. Now, if I take this off, which you'll notice I can do quite easily if anybody is curious about that, slip into my thock gloves. I can fit this through also. When I try, and for full cuts, I don't really feel much of a difference. When I try wrist cuts, especially because this cuff is a little longer and it's certainly stiffer than the Neiman gloves, these kinds of things are more awkward with the thock gloves on. I will say that I actually feel like my fingers have more play in this pocket, which you'll also notice takes up actually less space on the hilt. For that reason, full cuts actually feel more comfortable to me in the thock gloves. As far as slipping the index finger through here, I don't really feel much of a difference at all. So much for the Black Fencer. Now, this is a Denelli Bolognese Light. I haven't tried this before, so this is the first time I'm seeing if I can do this as well. I can't just slip that in quite as easily, but as you can see, I do fit into my finger rings here. Again, right here, don't hit my furniture. That's fine. That is less forceful than I would like, but less forceful than I would like, again, because my bottom 3 fingers here are actually on the bulky side, but it's not the end of the world. Let's see if I can get my garage light on. Same sword with the thock gloves. Here, I actually start to run into problems. This is a problem I noticed with my Denelli and my thocks before. You'll see I can get in there, but I don't know if you can see this. It's difficult for me to get my finger in far enough for the sword to rest comfortably in my palm. So I can hold the sword here and I can move my hand through, cut-like motions, but here I do feel like the difference in material is limiting my ability to actually use the sword. If we compare index fingers in size, you'll see that these are not really particularly different. but there's much more squish to the Koning gloves than there is to the Thok gloves. Something else I haven't tried before. This is my Cervenka sidesword. This is sharp, so there's no particular reason I would be wearing either of these gloves with this, but just kind of for reference, since it's the only other sidesword I have in the house. Here, I do start to feel a little constrained. We'll do a comparison in a moment, and you'll be able to see, I think, that these finger rings on the sharp are a little smaller than on my Denelli. But I can't get all the way in here. Whoops. And so that's certainly possible. Switching gloves one last time. I've never tried to do this before. So this is something, here, let me see if I can do that without forcing it in. Not really. This is as close as I can get without taking the sword in my other hand and kind of shoving it through. And even now, I don't really feel, the sword is physically in my hand, but it's not lined up correctly. So I can cut, but again, I'm really just kind of moving the sword through kind of the gross motions of a cut. I wouldn't expect that to do anything, as you can probably tell from the lack of tachikaze. And these wrist cuts remain difficult thanks to the fairly rigid hourglass here. Now, of course, that's not to say there's no reason to be using a protective gloves of that sort when using a sharp side sword. As you can see here, there's not a huge difference in finger ring size, but it is enough that the Denelli is more comfortable in the hand with the Thok gloves than the Cervenka is, and both of them are actually much more mobile with the, I can do more with them when wearing my Konings. I hope that's helpful, Tom. I hope that's helpful for anybody else who might see this and is curious. I'll probably do another review of the Koning gloves after I've had a chance to spar with them some. We'll talk about how they work with longsword and how they don't, in my opinion. And I'll see you guys later.